rise for the invocation today given by Pastor David of the Travis Baptist Church, followed by the pledge to the U.S. and Texas flag. Good morning, Pastor.
Pray with me. Our Father in heaven, we love you and we thank you so much for allowing us to live in this beautiful state and this beautiful country. We pray, God, for our city, for our first responders, that you'll keep them safe, that you'll give them wisdom in all the interactions they'll have this week. We pray, Lord, for our leadership, that you'll watch over them and guide them with your wisdom. We pray for those, Lord, that are suffering in our city right now, that are struggling, and we just ask your blessing on them and help us to love our neighbors like we love ourselves. We say all these things in the holy name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas flag, one state under God, one indivisible. Thank you very much, Pastor David. Thanks for coming down this morning. Okay. Today is the 22nd day of August. We're meeting in the Nueces County Commissioner's Courtroom in the Nueces County Courthouse. I'd like to certify all members of the court are present and that we have a quorum. I'd like to call for approval of the minutes of August the 8th, please, 2018.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay, Tyner, you're up.
Judge, I'd like to invite up a large crew here on this item, Healthy
Good.
South Texas Day.
Good. Come on up. Howdy.
And I'll go ahead and begin.
Please do.
Whereas diabetes continues to be one of the top 10 causes of death for Texans and afflicts more people in South Texas than anywhere else in the state. Whereas preventable asthma-related illness causes our children to miss school, make visits to emergency rooms, and spend time in hospital beds. Whereas people continue to suffer from vaccine-preventable diseases, and Texas falls short of the national vaccine coverage rate for children and adults. Whereas awareness, education, engagement, and connection to resources empower members of our community to take control of their health by making good nutrition, regular physical activity, and environmental control part of their daily lives. Now therefore be it resolved that the Commissioner's Court of Nueces County, Texas does hereby designate August 24th, 2018 as Healthy South Texas Day in Nueces County.
I have a motion, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Who's speaking?
I guess I am.
All right. We'll get right there to that mic. Thank you very much.
Well, howdy. Thank you for allowing us to be here today and for recognizing August the 24th as Healthy South Texas Day. We invite each of y'all to attend on Friday, August the 24th. We'll be at the Corpus Christi Hooks. On that day, we'll be celebrating Healthy South Texas Day, and it'll give us an opportunity to let the community know of the great things that the programs have been doing. And that we do come bearing some gifts for you all.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Oatmeal cookies, right?
Oh, you're going to chew on that thing. You're going to chew on that one.
Yeah, oatmeal.
Okay. Well, thank you. Bring it on up, please, if you will. We're so glad to see you, and
Thank you for
we
all
thank
the
you for all the hard work that you all do every day for the citizens of our community. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bring it up.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you all come on around and come up here, and I'll get my official photographer, Mr. Tyner Little,
Okay.
to do the photography work. That's a cotton crop. Okay? Average? Are you getting grain yet?
Are we in the front or where are we?
Huh? Grain and cotton about average? Okay. Hi, girls. How are y'all?
We're doing good.
Look out there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies? No, they're girls. As old as I am, they're all
That's
girls.
right, thank you.
One more, 1, 2, 3.
We'll sell it now.
One more. Okay. All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, it's good to see you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right, Tanner,
Judge, in the interest of time, I'm going to do the now therefore on this
that'll
resolution
be
only.
fine, it's very long.
Yes. Basically, the board made a recommendation to the insurance commissioner to raise windstorm rates 10%. There's another 4% that could be attached to that. And so this resolution opposes an increase in TWIA rates. Now therefore, be it that the Commissioners Court of Nueces County hereby request that the Commissioner of Insurance reject the proposed rate increase for Texas windstorm insurance as proposed by the Texas Department of Insurance.
Is there a motion? I got a motion, I have a second. I got an email this morning saying that the TWIA had assessed its company members $106 million this year for Harvey. So no wonder they're trying to raise the rates. But anyway, we're against this. We certainly want this to be, our voice to be heard on this issue, and I thank you for doing this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you. That it?
Yes.
Public comment is reserved for items not posted on the agenda. You're welcome to come forward on any item that you care to address the court on. Okay, the first is on A1. Linda, on animal control. I don't think I have anything on the agenda this morning on that, so come on up, please. Yes, ma'am.
Lisa.
Lisa.
I'm sorry, it's Lisa. I apologize, Lisa. Yeah, please, right there on that mic. I'm sorry, Lisa.
I'm nervous. I've never done this before.
I apologize.
Don't worry.
Good morning, Judge Neal, and good morning, Commissioners, and thank you so much for the opportunity to address this court today. My name is Lisa Bockholt. I am a resident of Kingsville, Texas. I've lived in this area, in the South Texas and Coastal Mid area, for going on 30 years now. As a longstanding and active member of the Kingsville community in particular, I have volunteered for many, many years at my hometown animal control facility, helping volunteer there and assisting with rescues and adoptions. During that time, I have witnessed many positive changes in the overall management and operation of the Kingsville Animal Control Facility as they move from an animal control mentality into more of an animal care services mentality. On a volunteer basis, I was personally responsible for developing and implementing a marketing program and a proven and successful strategy which has helped to assist the shelter in attaining its live release goals. Approximately 4.5 years ago, I then decided to branch out because I don't just live in Kingsville. As a matter of fact, I actually own property in Nueces County and I pay taxes in Nueces County. And Kingsville is just a bubble. If I want to shop or eat or do anything over and above what Kingsville has to offer, I will be in the Nueces County area, either in the county or further on into the city limits of Corpus Christi. So I approached then Director Raymond Herrera at Nueces County Animal Control with the concept of trying to improve their live release at that facility. I was very shocked to find, as per Mr. Herrera, that up until the time I personally walked into the building, that Nueces County Animal Control routinely euthanized 98% of the animals in its care. In other words, virtually everything that came through the front door to that animal control facility, picked up as a stray, or whether an owner decided to surrender, was taken out in the back in a body bag and put and disposed of in your landfill. I'm very proud to inform you today that through a very, very great and wonderful cooperative effort, not only with Mr. Herrera, but who has passed away, but now with Mr. Juan Ramirez, who has taken over his position, that the county is no longer euthanizing healthy adoptable animals so long as space is available. Both Mr. Herrera as well as Mr. Ramirez have embraced volunteer efforts and shown overwhelming support for the volunteer programs and services that we have provided to them, which has not only saved their department and the county a tremendous amount of money, but it's brought additional benefits to the county, such as donations from companies like Tractor Supply and PetSmart, donations from the general public, as well as improving and increasing their adoption rates, which translates to revenue, and also improving employee morale as the employees are no longer having to euthanize. I just wanted to say today kudos to Nueces County as well as to the staff of Animal Control for embracing the volunteer support. As the budget is now going through the process with the county, I just want to respectfully request that now, even more than ever, more positive steps be taken toward caring for the animals in your custody. And I would like to encourage you to consider the following things for the animal control facility itself. Things such as flea and tick control, things such as improved cleaning and disinfecting procedures, which would incorporate some additional products that are not currently being used. More emphasis on utilizing the best practices when it comes to intake procedures, providing vaccinations on intake, providing routine deworming, providing heartworm testing, providing things like adoption events and activities. The greatness of a community and its moral progress can be judged by the way animals are treated, and I do believe that a great deal of progress has been made. We've been welcomed and embraced, but I think right now would be an appropriate time for the Nueces County Commissioners Court to consider further embracing an animal care services mentality for future. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for your comments. The rest of the public comments are indicated to be on an agenda item. Is there anyone else here for public comments for a non-agenda item? Non-agenda item. Okay, fine, thank you. We'll get the others when we get that item. Thank you very much for being here. Consent agenda items are items that will be voted on by one vote of the Commissioners Court unless a member of the court or member of the public asks that that item be pulled, individually discussed, and voted on separately. I'll now call for public comment on consent agenda items number 3A, consent agenda items number 3A, and all the way to 3S. Any public comment? See none. Commissioners, do you have any comment on items 3A through 3S?
I would like to pull F.
F, as in Frank?
Yes, sir.
All right. What else? I'll accept a motion to approve consent agenda items 3A through 3S with the exception of F, please, by the Commissioners.
So moved.
All right, I have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Carolyn?
Okay, I just have a question on this one. I was reading and it says that, let me read it. The quote expired before the order was placed, and the timing of the new quote forced the purchase of an entire first year instead of first year being probated. The additional cost is $16,893.77. So is this for additional time, or are we getting penalized because we didn't do it before the quote expired?
No, it just changed the cycle dates.
Okay?
So instead of prorating the rest of this year, they had to purchase an entire year and prorate the last months of this year.
I'm just making sure. Thank you.
And thank you. Will you make the motion on F, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, pose same sign. Thank you. Good question. Regular agenda items. November 6, 2018, general election, early voting locations, election day voting locations. County Clerk, we need some help here. Please. Thank you for being here and thank you for doing this.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So y'all have a map, but that's for election day. So first we're going to go to early voting
All right.
locations. And you'll have in your folder that we gave you the entities that are joining us.
Okay.
And then we have 23 locations for early voting. And we recommend that you establish these locations for early voting. It would be the main early voting location is the county courthouse.
Okay.
Then the permanent is Calderon Building because I do have an office out there. The rest would be considered temporary. And we recommend that you approve them for the all of them for the entire duration of early voting
All right, and early voting begins October 22nd?
to November 2nd.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any questions, commissioners? Do we take each one of these individually or not?
You can vote on the list.
On the list? No, I'm talking about early voting and then everything else. Do you, individually? Okay, so commissioners, review the early voting list, make any comments, and I need a motion to approve, if you agree, please.
Judge, I don't know if we have any public comment on this, so we can,
Sure,
I know there's a few individuals that are
Sure.
here to speak on this
sure.
issue.
We're glad to have public comment. I'll defer the voting. Let me have some, if they are here to comment on the early voting locations, we welcome your comments. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Teresa Klein. I'm actually commenting on both early voting and on the election day. Is that appropriate to talk
Sure.
about both of them at the same time? I am here representing myself, not representing party, either Democratic or Republican Party. But I am coming here as a professor who works with a lot of young folks and sees a lot of people who sometimes don't go and vote because of perceived barriers that they may have for voting. They don't know, how's this going to work? Where do I go? And I wanted, first of all, to thank the Commissioners Court for considering Del Mar as an early voting site for the entire time, as well as a election day location. My concern is for those who move on from Del Mar to A&M, and I know when I saw the agenda anyway, they were talking about A&M as being only for 1 week of early voting and not the full time. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right or not, but I would encourage you to consider it for the entire time. And also, I'm not seeing it as an election day location. One of my concerns is that we keep on hearing from students, these emerging adults, and that they don't vote. Well, one of the things that we can do to encourage them to vote is to remove barriers and encourage them to go to the places that they're at. If they're taking classes, they're running around like crazy. We sometimes don't think how busy they really are. They're studying, they're going to class, they're involved in activities, they're just trying to figure out their entire life and trying to go to their jobs. And if we can make it just that much easier for them by increasing access to Texas A&M, I think that we can have our leaders of tomorrow actually start participating today. And so I would really like to encourage you to open up that site if you can a bit more. I know that scheduling of locations, working out of college, I know that it's actually not as difficult as it may seem. It's just figuring out how to work with the system. A lot of schools have voting in hallways. You go to Metro East, it's right out front in a hallway or in a reception area. It's not that you have to reserve a room, but just kind of a space. And I'm not sure what the situation is at A&M, but I'm sure that they would be more than willing to work with you on that.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
We've looked at this before. Not just because we have changed the voting way we do things now. You can vote anywhere in Nueces.
Absolutely.
So that sort of takes the, I need to vote at A&M off. They can vote, wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
They can vote anywhere that we have a voting site, early voting and regular voting. The initial work that we did a few years ago was that so many of those students there are registered to vote in their hometown, so they can't vote here. And so if you're registered to vote in your hometown, they have to go back to their hometown and vote. And so we looked at this very carefully, and the statistical information we got was that there weren't a whole lot of those students that wanted to vote here, eligible to vote here, because they were registered to vote in Dallas or San Antonio or somewhere else, and they had to go home to vote. So has that changed? Are you telling me now that there are a whole lot more students that don't register to vote in their hometown and they want to vote here?
I don't have the statistics for A&M. I teach over at Del Mar, I will say that.
Right. Now, Del Mar's a
But-
different animal.
Yeah,
Most of those are local.
True, but wouldn't it be nice if we could get them to register in Nueces County and become Nueces
Well,
County
that's not my
citizens?
job. My job is to provide voting, And so when we looked at this before, the numbers didn't pan out. Number one, there were just a lot of kids not registered, but number two, many of the young people who come to school here are from San Antonio, Austin, and up there, and we found at that time that if they were registered to vote, they were registered in their hometown.
I will tell you, as a League of Women Voters member, just a member, not
Right.
representing the
And I'm
organization,
not trying to get into an
that they
argument.
are out there registering many, many students to vote here in Nueces County each and every week. And so there are many that are participating
Okay.
locally. I don't have exact numbers for you, and I can't speak authoritatively on that. I know that the league has been incredible in getting out there and getting them signed up. And most of those that they're seeing when they come up and ask them, are you registered to vote, are Nueces County students. So that is something to consider. We also have our students who live in dorms there who maybe transportation is not as easy for them as it is for those who live in the apartments.
Anyway,
But
thank you very much.
Let me ask you a question. You have a good point, and I really, I kind of agree with you. And I've seen it in the last, I don't know, maybe a year, an increase of enrollment at all universities, TAMU CC, Kingsville, and Corpus, of local residents, and especially through our program, I think that half of our students that we give scholarships to are local students. And every year we seem to give 118 scholarships, but they're local students because they belong to Nueces County. So I seen it, to me, and it's a good point to look at it next year, but I think if not having 2 weeks out there, maybe we have 2 days the second week. Maybe I think it's something to look at. I just hate to shut down a whole week for not having anything for a whole week when everybody else is having 2 weeks. But I think that if we look at it, maybe having 2 days might be something we can look at, I guess, and see if we can do that. I see your point, and you got a good point, and I think that, and the judge said too, a lot of the students out there from out of town, but I think that our enrollment increasing from local students here has increased in the last 5 years, so. I'm in favor, doing something the second week, but maybe not the whole week, but maybe a couple of days a week.
What are we doing currently? I don't know Kara, can you tell us what we're doing right now at A&M Corpus Christi? Can you?
I gave a recommendation that we do all 23 locations. I just recommended that y'all establish all 23 early vocations. I get your supplemental
Is it-
for the entire duration. Early voting, yeah.
Okay, then
That's what I
does take care of that.
Yeah, that's
That
what I
does take care of
recommended.
that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we're still,
And Del Mar is, just so you know, they've joined us.
absolutely.
So that's why
We're
they
so
automatically.
thankful for Del Mar.
Yeah.
Thank you, definitely.
Yes.
Okay, so Texas A&M, that's what I thought this meant, was Texas A&M Corpus Christi is already on the list for the whole?
Yes, so it's a
Okay.
supplement. Yes, so that's
Okay.
what I just recommended.
Okay, no, and that's what I thought it was. I just want to make sure you're clear, but, okay.
And we have some times that are,
Right.
Kara, we have some times that are worked in later. You have, the 27th of October is a Saturday? Is that right, Kara?
Right. This is the supplemental that I can pass out.
It says 1 week on the.
Right, that's
Okay.
what, this is supplemental that they have that I'm recommending they vote on.
Okay.
I can share.
If I didn't start off with that, I apologize. I thought
No,
I had.
that's what I thought, but
Okay.
that's why we're here, to make sure everybody's clear on everything, so.
Now, the times,
Yeah.
that's statute. So the first week of early voting, the law states that all early voting locations are open the same hours as the main early voting location. So my office hours, which is 8 to 5, that's the first week. And this is just the law. Then on Saturday, it's 12 hours. Then on Sunday, it's 5 hours. And then the last week of early voting, it's 12 hours, 7 to 7. So that's in
That's,
Chapter 85 of the Texas Election Code.
that's every election site, or every early
That's for
voting
the,
site? Or just-
correct.
But I mean, I think you, and correct me on this too, I thought the weekends were not mandatory, but if we did the weekends, you had to do it this way, but you went ahead and did the weekends?
No,
Or-
no, because
I can't-
there's different laws and statutes for different elections, right? So a special is different than the primary, but this is a general. So for the general, you have to have, and it also depends on the size of the county. So we have over 100,000 people here. So that's why we have to have weekend voting.
Gotcha, okay.
Mhm.
And so there was some.
And those hours are stipulated in the statute, in Chapter 85 of the Texas Election Code.
So the last week, every voting center will be open to 7 o'clock.
Every early voting location, all 23, will be open from 7 to 7.
Okay.
That's good.
Good deal. Any other public comment on the early voting sites? Any other public comment?
Oh, and can I also make one more comment? The students, we also, and we have several limited ballots. Students that don't live here, they can, and with y'all's help, we can encourage, they can do an absentee ballot. So if they're registered in another county, they can do an absentee ballot
Okay.
for that. Or they can come to our office during early voting only, not election day, but early voting only, and they can do a limited ballot.
Very good.
And
Well,
that will
thank you for
change
your
their
help.
registration over.
These are, I'm happy with these changes or this proposal that you bring us as supplemental. Keeping it open late the last week, I think that's big. I think that's a home run in getting voters out, and that's when people will really start kind of waking up. You have the people that will vote early, dedicated always, and then it trickles down, and then that last week, hopefully more focus and attention will get people out. So up to 7 PM is, I think, a great suggestion. Judge, I support all this. I will make a motion if we can add A&M Corpus Christi to the list of Election Day votes.
This is only early voting right now.
Yeah, let's do
Early-
the early voting first.
Okay, I thought we were voting on both.
No, we're voting on early voting first.
So agenda item, we're just doing 1A1?
Yeah, that's what the county attorney
Okay.
suggested.
All right, then.
So I need a motion to approve the amended early voting sites
To establish.
to establish the early, thank you. All right.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any other comment, public comment, all in favor? Aye, pose same sign. Thank you. All right, now we'll talk about Election Day.
And I'll just,
No, we're good. Go ahead, Kara, please.
Okay, so you have maps as well, and there's 83 locations. It's gone down a bit. Some of the locations have closed from our original, it was 93 locations for vote centers. One of the businesses just didn't want us to use them, so that's why MG Building Supply is off the list. A couple of schools have closed down, so they're not on the list. And the fire stations are off the list. We have heard from firefighters, and that kind of is intrusive. It's also, they're not ADA compliant. The fire stations are not.
Okay?
But that's up to y'all. If y'all want to put them back on, that's up to y'all.
I think we have plenty of places for people to vote if they want to.
Right. And I will say this, I do think that the early voting locations, because you have Hilltop, which is early voting, Johnny Calderon, which is early voting, most of these early voting locations are vote centers. And I think, like, Greenwood should be a vote center.
Yeah.
And it's not. Locations that are just early voting, I think we should add them as vote centers as well
All right,
to the
so
list.
what's your recommendation?
That you approve the vote centers and include the locations, and I'll have to go through, I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. All the locations, all the early voting locations not listed, we
On
can add them as vote centers.
All right, fine.
Is that?
You know, count right now.
Well,
Yeah, how many?
I mean, we're.
There's about 6.
So we're going back up again, so
Well, again, but here's why, because I think that when someone goes by a location and they see vote here, and the big vote here signs that we put out for early voting, and they see that all week or 2 weeks, and then it's not there. So, you do have voters that's what they like to do. They like to vote on election day.
Well, then why
So-
not go the other direction and use only early voting locations that are already approved
Mm-hmm.
vote centers? Why do because when we had this huge discussion, we had all these people in here, we had everybody that came to a consensus on this number, and we said, we really don't want to keep messing with this because we're going to get right back up to 120. So all we're doing is going back up. So I'm a little confused because this was not the initial recommendation, so I'm a little confused by this because it's like, okay, if we wanted to keep it at 120, we should have kept it at 120, but all we're doing now is
We never had
continuing.
120.
We had 120 precincts, and we had voting.
127 precincts, but they only went down to 114 when I was in office.
Okay, so we went to 114, and then we said, we want to make this to where everybody can vote everywhere, but we want to try to keep our election costs down, the what we can. That way, this was a great concept that everybody agreed to, but, so I don't know why we're going back up again. Are we going to keep, every time we turn around, someone's going to come in and want to add one? And I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I'm just saying, why wouldn't we go to the opposite direction and say, let's only use early voting locations where we have vote centers? Because otherwise, you could go up every time you come around, we could go up.
Which would be great if we could find some of these vote centers that would allow us to use their facility for 2 weeks.
Okay, well,
That's
But they're
a
letting
long
us-
time, and so a lot of these, and that's something that we will look at.
okay.
And you
so
don't
now-
have to take the recommendation again.
Well, but you should,
It's up to you.
well, I read my packet, I looked at this stuff, now I gotta go back and figure out how the balance is, what it is, whatever, we gotta go get the parties together. It's like, I don't understand, we're just throwing things out. We're just kind of throwing six
We're just
things
talking
out,
about
and-
really 6 locations, really.
which is going to then to 89 when we're trying to go down, and I don't get what we're trying to do here.
I think,
I'd like to go talk to, and of course
y'all
Christie,
need-
and see if they even want to do it. We're just throwing things out. We don't even know if these people want to do them as vote centers, right? Have we asked them?
We've spoken to them, and again, that's just a recommendation,
Well, but
Commissioner Chesney. So if you just want to go with what we have and go from there, easy enough, and let's do that.
Well, okay,
And
have
then
you
when
asked
we can
these?
look in the future, and it's a great idea. I appreciate that trying to find location, vote centers, making sure they are all early voting.
So have you asked the 6 that you're making this recommendation that they even want to be a vote center?
Yes, we have reached out to them, my staff has,
And you've confirmed that all 6 of them want to be vote centers?
yes. But they can't, they are willing to be.
They're willing to be vote centers.
Mhm.
And so that adds 6 vote centers, which adds cost, which part of the whole reason we did this in the first place was to
Correct.
be more cost efficient. So now you're adding to the election budget. Okay, so if you factor all that in, and how much is that going to cost us? Because we would need to know, because if you're coming up to make a recommendation, I take your
About
recommendation very
$10,000.
seriously. I'm sorry?
About 10,000.
So we're going to add $10,000 to the election
Again,
in a budget year where, respectfully, in a budget year where we're freaking trying to, how to make ends meet.
okay.
So,
I
I
know, and
mean-
I understand that.
No, I'm not, I take your recommendations very seriously, but I didn't know this was coming, and so
but it just comes out of her budget though, right? You have a budget for
It's
elections.
all
it's not
tax.
our budget, it's her budget.
No, we also share the
I know
cost
that.
with
That's
other,
like everybody else has got a budget, we
Like,
let
it
them do
doesn't matter. I mean-
something.
This is not 100% our budget. This is
Yeah.
shared by everybody on this list
It's,
who's going to be voting
Yeah.
that day.
Right.
Everybody on that list
Yeah.
shares the cost.
Proportional.
that's what I'm saying, I mean, 6 locations,
Yeah.
just put them
It's a
on.
relatively small cost.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see what the problem, I mean,
The problem is, the problem to me, Joe, is that, your Commissioner, that we came in, and if we're gonna, and I don't even know which 6 are the ones she's talking about, so understand, and they all may be in my precinct. I don't know which ones they even are. I'm just concerned about setting a precedent.
Keep it as it is, because they'll have to change the appropriation part of it too. So then we, very good point. So let's keep it as it is, so we have to go back and do all that work with the appropriation part. Because we
I
have to
don't-
get this done.
What does that mean, the appropriation part?
Next agenda.
Pardon me?
Agenda item. It's something that the state did.
what, is this good for the parties, or not, what do the parties feel about doing this?
I don't even know what 6 we're talking about.
What's good for the parties or good for the people,
Yeah,
the voters?
right.
It's for the voters.
I'm not against it, I'm just,
Completely, when we.
I'm not against it, it's extra cost, I don't even know what this appropriations thing means, it's kind of coming out of.
What?
Permission to address the question.
Sure.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Can you step up to the mic, please? Thank you.
Initially, when we started the vote centers, it's when I was chairman and both parties were here, it was never about cost, it was about accessibility to the voters, making it basically a super vote center, making early voting throughout the way. The benefit was that we were able to reduce cost of these elections, but that was never the priority. The priority was accessibility. So adding these 6 early voting locations to your actual election day roster, I think if you go, how many of these 6 actually charge the counties? Do we know?
It's not about
No.
charging the county.
It's not.
It's paying.
But it's not. And if we pay a little bit more for more accessibility, I think we should all be about that, making our democracy and accessibility to the polls open to everybody.
But
And
respectfully,
I
you
think
could,
both parties agree with that.
but respectfully, you could argue that we should add 10 or 15 or 20 more. I mean, the whole.
But we're not arguing that. We're just arguing that.
No, but I mean, we could make this argument every year. We could come back and say your same argument, because the whole argument when we started this in the first place was now everybody can vote everywhere. We came up with 83 locations that at the time, everybody agreed were 83 good locations that were going to provide plenty of accessibility to everybody in this county. Obviously, you can always say,
We're
let's do more.
And if it's budget, if it's money that you're worried about.
It's everything.
We all met, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and they're here as well. Our goal was 95 or 96 vote centers on Election Day. That was our goal to hit. And even adding this 6 puts us under that goal, and we're all happy with it. 80, no.
Okay, we're going to move on here. Go ahead.
One more comment, Judge. With the recommendation of Commissioner Monas and Ms. Kara Sands, she's just asking to make Greenwood Senior Center a election day. This last special election, there was over 284 people that voted there. Hold on.
I'm fine with that.
Commissioner.
No, she added 6. She said.
Well, no, well, we recommending, and I'm supporting her recommendation to support Greenwood Senior Center as an election day site, along with A&M as election day site. They already been approved by the Commissioners Court as vote centers. We're just taking we reduced the number from 85 down to, 82? So adding 2 more, 83. So adding 2 more will bring it back up to 85.
Yeah,
Both parties agreed on.
I just don't remember the 95 number. I thought we were trying to get more in the 85 number so that we were. Yeah, I don't remember ever saying 95, just so you know. I mean, I remember it being more like a mid-80s, but I mean, I could be wrong. I mean,
It was never 95, it was down to 85, which is down to 83. And again,
if you want to add Greenwood and A&M Corpus Christi, I'm fine with that. I don't know what the other 4 are you're talking about, but
yeah,
I mean,
so question though,
I move that we add those 2 and move on.
yeah.
is that going to,
Second that. I second his motion, Judge.
I heard you.
Okay.
and those, right, and so it's not going to hurt the appropriation part.
They'll have to address that for those, where those fall
Okay.
precinct, and then we still go with how you apportioned it before.
Okay.
As to whether it's the last election of the governors.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
one.
Okay, so
It doesn't really affect it, it just adds more.
More work.
So 2 places.
So, we have a motion to accept the list as proposed and also add Texas A&M Corpus Christi and Greenwood Center as election day voting sites to bring the total to 85.
Correct.
And that's the motion, and I think I got a second to that. Any other public comment? All in favor? Aye, pose same sign. All right, now that's early voting is set,
We're done with the.
and election day is set. So we're set. We're done.
Set with that.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, Kara. Thank you very much. A lot of work went into that, and we appreciate that very much. And I think people know this, but Nueces County is one of a handful of counties in the state of Texas that lets people vote anywhere they're voting. And I think that's something we did as a court and the commission and the county clerk did, and it has proven very effective to me. So let's go out and vote. Everybody get out and vote. Okay? Any other questions on that? I don't see any. We're going to move on. Thank you very much. All right, I've taken 1. Have I taken 2? Or do I still have to vote on that?
You already voted.
They voted on it.
All right, so 1 and 2 we voted on. Okay, we're good. Kara, you good?
I'm good.
You're good. Everybody's good. Thank you. All right, number 3.
Number 2,
Agenda item 2.
agenda item 2.
I just asked, have I voted on 2, and you said yes.
201.
You did.
No, I asked about 2. I said, have I voted on 1 and 2, and I was told yes.
You're on number 2 now. Agenda item 2.
Judge, I think.
I know what I did. That's why I asked the question. Okay, so we'll go back to agenda item number 2. That's why I asked the question. are we okay with the appointment of election judges and voting center commissioners? And so, what list are we using?
The list provided to you was a list submitted by the Democratic Party and by the Republican Party. And this item contains two components. You appoint the election judges, and you apportion, based on the 2014 gubernatorial election, you apportion commissioner precincts. And the only changes that needed to be done was Commissioner Precinct 1. 3 Republican had to change to Democratic election judges. And I got with Commissioner Vaughn, and those selections have been made and presented to you. Commissioner Precinct 2, 1 Republican could change to a Democrat. That recommendation came from Commissioner Gonzalez, and that has been submitted to you. No change for 3 or 4. So we recommend appointing the election judges presented and the apportionment presented to you.
Thank you very much. Do I have any questions? Do I have any public comment? Everybody okay? I need a motion. Thank you. Is there a second? I have a motion, a second, to accept the list as amended. As amended. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. A lot of hard work went into this, guys, ladies. And Tyner really did a good job getting with everybody, and we appreciate it very much. Christopher?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Just a brief update on our one-year recovery from Hurricane Harvey. We're at the 364-day mark here. We will have handouts for you here. Why don't you give them the handouts quick? We'll take care of that. So 3 parts of this. We'll just talk about some of what we've been working on, along with kind of where we're at with our public assistance with the FEMA side. And then we also have our president of our long-term recovery committee, the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, here to also speak about some of the individual recoveries that are happening across not only Nueces County, but the Coastal Bend. So we're handing out to you just a brief update about what we've been working on since Harvey. Not only the recovery itself, but then also some of the proactive actions that we've been taking as a county, basically to prepare for the next one. And so some of the things that we've done every hurricane season is meet with those that need to be met with, preparedness, including our mayors and our large employers, along with the public. This year, we hosted a hurricane preparedness fair in Robstown in conjunction with the city of Robstown in early August. We are actually doing our evacuation walkthrough tomorrow, if you all have time, at 3:30 at the fairgrounds at the arena. We mock what the evacuation process actually looks like in cooperation with our partners with the Public Health Department and the district. Along with, we will be working on, we've moved the date now to September 4th, which will be our next meeting with FEMA as we talk about our ongoing public assistance projects. So this is just some general things that we've got going on and have coming up, along with, working and communicating with our Rideout team. We're going to be doing a communications and web EOC exercise in September with our partners, make sure we can talk when we need to talk. We're also going to be doing a reentry exercise next week with our large industry partners as well. So there's a lot going on. We're not standing or resting on any laurels. We are preparing ourselves for whatever is the next one, whenever the next one will happen. But that's the preparedness side of it. So along with that, Rox or Maria are going to be talking real briefly about the public assistance update, talk about a little bit of where we're at with our FEMA reimbursement process too.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to let Maria take the show on this one and I just wanted to mention to the court and to everyone here what a blessing Maria is in our office. Grants Department didn't always take care of the FEMA projects. We do now, and we don't mind at all. We love helping Christopher with this. But amongst all the other grants that we do and all the grants that we actually manage, not just go out and get, but we manage a lot of projects, FEMA has been a great undertaking for our office, and it's kind of, I call it Maria's baby. Maria has been the single point of contact as far as our liaison work between FEMA and the contractors that help TDEM and just to get our projects in. She has done a really fantastic job of getting FEMA all the information that they need. And then, of course, doing the liaison work between all the departments that owe us information. So I just wanted to give her kudos for that, and I'll let her present to you what she's been working on.
Good morning. The list you have in front of you, I updated the spreadsheet. We have had some movement on some of the projects since the last update that we gave you last month. So right now, we have a total of 16 projects that are listed in the FEMA grants portal. Those aren't all going to be awarded projects. Of that the number of 16, 6 projects have been awarded, 3 of which are 100% complete. So those are done. The remaining 3 projects will have to be completed by February 25th of 2019. So we've actually already received some reimbursement from FEMA on these projects. The FEMA share for that total is $90,909.15, and those projects are listed on page 2. There's 3 more projects that we're expecting to be awarded pretty quickly, probably by the end of next month, and that'll be another $273,000 coming into the county. And that's, again, the FEMA share. A lot of these projects have the 10% match, which will be the county's match. We have identified all the costs associated with the emergency protective measures. So that is all of the equipment, officer overtime, personnel overtime, and other things that we did, immediately to prepare for and immediately respond to Hurricane Harvey. And those costs total $400,930.38. We have submitted all of the backup documentation to FEMA for that particular project, but they are asking some kind of additional questions. So we're in the process of addressing those so we can kind of fast track that reimbursement. There is one project that's going to have to go through what they call a request for an improved project, and that is the Public Works 4-yard building. Their office building is kind of old. They were only going to offer us about $5,200 for that project, but I know Juan Pimentel, our new Public Works Director, would like to demolish that building and go with a prefab building. So we're looking at a cost of $100,000 for that project. So that one is going to take a little bit longer. So we are working on that. Debris removal. We have a total of $114,000 in invoices that have been received so far. Tetra Tech, which is the monitoring company for Crowder Gulf, which is the debris removal contractor, did say that there is more invoices to forthcoming, so we can't close out that particular project yet. So we're looking at probably about $130,000 in estimated debris removal costs. FEMA is questioning the monitoring costs for that, so we're kind of working through those issues. They feel that Tetra Tech is charging a little more than the debris removal costs, and they don't feel like that's fair. So we're working with Jerry, who's our FEMA contact, and working with the TDM contact also to try to work through those issues. So hopefully, we hope that will be taken care of pretty quickly. We do have 3 projects that will be withdrawn, so I'll be sending a letter to the judge's office pretty soon on withdrawing those projects, since the insurance proceeds would cover those damages. And then there is one other project I believe I did email Scott and asked him if he for sure got the grant that he had applied for, and he's pretty confident, but we don't have a grant award yet, so we won't delete it off the project list just yet. So if there's any specific questions on any of the projects, I'll...
Questions? Anyone, please?
So this is just reimbursement. This has nothing to do with mitigation money. That's still down the line, further away. So, okay.
Anyone have any questions? I want to thank you. We have managed this whole process about as well as we could do this, because we've all been in the same boat, in the same meetings, and cooperating. And so not just grants, but the insurance, Timothy, and risk management, and everybody else has been involved. And Commissioners, I hope none of you ever have to go through what we've been going through individually with this, but it gets harder and harder and harder every time one of these things happen, because the federal government really does change how they want things done, and when they do, they don't make it easier. They make it much more difficult. So thank you all very, very much. And we're going to get there, and we're going to maximize the return for the citizens of this county, and we're going to get everything done we can do, but thank you.
Can I just add three more things before I turn it over to President Tatum?
Sure.
Judge, you said no clawback, and that's the way we're doing this.
Right.
So I think we should be proud and know that whatever future judge or commissioners or yourselves that are sitting here, we're not going to be back in front of you in 3 or 4 years and say, they gave us the money, now they want it back, because we didn't follow something according to them. So that's why it's so important we do this, and without this team, we would not be doing it. So we're blessed. Two other things I just want to hit on. Commissioner, you just talked about some of the good that's coming with this from the bad. The mitigation money that will be coming forward with these large pot of money that will be here soon and that we're working on actively and seeking funds through hazard mitigation grants to do some really good work across this county and working with the jurisdictions, the parties that have been part of the plan, but also looking at adding additional partners into that plan so that they also are eligible to things like that. And then finally, the next county judge, as the emergency management director of this county, is going to have a great opportunity to learn. In 2019, the Coastal Bend will be the location for the Texas Division of Emergency Management's full-scale exercise for hurricanes. So we'll be able to test everything we've done up to this point, plus not only the response side of it, but then the recovery as well. So a lot of good is coming out of this. We still have a heck of a challenge ahead of us, but there's a lot of hope, and there's a lot of good that will come out of this ultimately with some of the projects that we're able to do through mitigation dollars. With that, I'd like to talk about, introduce Pastor Beth Tatum, who's the president of our Long-Term Recovery Committee, the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, that will give you an update with what that group has been working on for us.
Judge, before she does, if I could just make a quick comment. I was in a meeting yesterday with Christopher and the folks from UTMSI, and there are good things that are coming out of this, if there can be good things that come out of a hurricane. And the fact that we're going to be able to help those folks because they're in a major disaster recovery over there. They had over $40 million in damage to the UTMSI campus there in Port Aransas, and they feel like they could be as much as $10 or $12 million short in their insurance and TWIA and FEMA and all those kind of things. And because of the plans that we have in place that Christopher and his group have put into place, this court has voted on, but certainly they did all the work. It's going to help UTMSI recover quicker by being able to add on to our plan. So that's a very significant achievement, and as they said, they are greatly appreciative of the county's involvement in the county's plan that's in place, and so these plans, as you've said many times, Judge, I've heard you say, make sure you read them, and they're great plans, and they sit on a shelf until we need them, but they're really important, and they really, really are important because we just went through hopefully something we won't see again in this county for many, 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 many years. But if we do, we will be more prepared, and I do appreciate the efforts that Christopher and all of y'all that have put the work into this, and I don't mean to just say Christopher, but I mean, I know it's a big group effort, and this court, because we did pass it, but it's the stuff that's going on is very important work, so thank you all very much for that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Hi.
Judge, Commissioners, I'm Beth Tatum. I am president of the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group. About 3 years ago, you may recall there was some flooding that happened in Nueces County and Jim Wells County, and at that time, Danielle Hale was your emergency management coordinator. She gathered several of the nonprofit organizations together, and we formed a larger nonprofit intending to meet the needs after any disaster across the Coastal Bend region, specifically to help individuals. And we appreciate the support very much. We thought that after we helped folks in that flooding, the same year as the Big Hill Country floods, if you'll recall, we thought that we were done, and then Harvey decided to come ashore. It's been quite a year. What we do is try to coordinate and collaborate and build a coalition that reaches out for individual families that have experienced the disaster and be the safety net. After all of the other social programs, the FEMA grants, the SBA loans, insurance, everything like that, we try to gather up those folks and assist them being back in a home that is safe, secure, and sanitary. We do that through advocating on the local level, the state level, and as we can, talk to our congressional representatives, national level, it's all through case management. We also have become a construction organization, and we are operating throughout the region, including Nueces County, but the 6 counties that were included in the Harvey disaster. So we've worked in coordination, and you've got a list up here on the screen of the current board of directors. We were very fortunate to bring on in February retired Army Major Warren Phipps, Major General Warren Phipps, and he is now our executive director. And you can see that we have representation across the counties. Now, we include Bee and Clayburgh. They were included in the designation, but we've not had a lot of cases that have arisen that have requested assistance, but we are primarily functioning in Nueces, Refugio, Aransas, and San Pat counties. So we've built this coalition with officers that represent governmental, private sector, including faith-based organizations and other nonprofit organizations. These are the core functions, so we're not just case management or construction. We try to touch on all of these things, and we're very proud of how it's working. That little circle, that little oval down there on the bottom left-hand corner of unmet needs is a committee that is meeting at least twice a month. Disaster case managers present cases where we've vetted the clients, received paperwork, interviewed them, done home visits to ensure that we're not duplicating services and that the donations and grants that have come in to be handled both by our agency as well as our partners are going to those that need it the most. So at that unmet needs table, any funders that are present that day can say we will contribute X number of dollars, or our agency will be the volunteer labor that does this job, or whatever it is that folks might want to contribute. So we're partnering. The way that we've changed in the last 3 years is, like I said, we were a little organization. We did good. We helped around 100 families after the 2015 floods, but we had spent down all of our donations. We had about $5,000 in assets, and the day before Harvey came ashore, we were scheduled to do our after-action review and had to cancel it because all of our participating board members were calling and saying, we're standing up for a major hurricane possibility. So now we're living the after-action review. We've gone from about 8 board members that were part-time volunteers to now we have the potential for 15. We have actually 13 serving right now. And we have a small staff of actually, it's 15 full-time equivalents. Some of them are funded by grants, and we have physical offices in Sinton instead of an address that goes where the pastor's office goes, which was me. We have partnered with, last count, more than 30 different organizations, some local, some national organizations to help with volunteer labor and support. And we now have 51 disaster case managers. Some of them are employed as contractors with our group. Some of them are through the FEMA grant for the national VOAD. So a total of 51 disaster case managers working across the region. They can at any one time have 35 cases, active cases each. So that's happening. And those cases are coming to the unmet needs table. And we now have an operating budget for 2018 of around $3 million, and our goal for this year for Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group is to have 45 major repairs completed, which usually means more than just a roof came off. It usually means some walls were damaged, some supports were damaged. On average, a major repair will be at least $15,000. after insurance and FEMA claims have paid off. So this is the balance. 28 mobile homes to be replaced completely, and 11 complete rebuilds. That means from the foundation up. If I'm not mistaken, we started the Pier and Beam Foundation for the first two that were engineered in Nueces County in Port Aransas on last week. So 11 will be completed across the region. Here's the numbers. Now, this is all of the cases that so far, and we just started the unmet needs table. Of course, you have to have case management first. We just started the unmet needs table in late February. These are the number of cases that have come to us. Pardon me. A total of 165 cases have been presented, and for Nueces County, 20 of those, for a total obligation of $5.2 million. In the overall scheme of things, in 5 years, we think that that number down at the bottom is going to be around 2,000 cases that the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group will assist with construction management, bringing the volunteer organizations together to do the work, as well as funders to pay those things that can't be done by non-professionals, plumbing and electrical and engineering certification for, so that purple number is probably somewhere around $30 million that we need to raise over the next 4 years. And then I'm going on to the next slide. This shows you a little bit better how many we've completed so far and what's actually been spent. It's been difficult in Nueces County because the cases that have been presented first are the ones that are the most difficult from Nueces County. Many of the just do the roof and small repairs were picked up by smaller organizations without going through the full disaster case management process. But we've completed 5. We've approved funding for 14 total in Nueces County, and we're on track to meet those goals. So here are the major donors that are from Nueces County. And the volunteer groups that have put in lots of time and have committed to being around our unmet needs table. Many of them are faith-based organizations, and some of these were grants that came without us asking. And we really are helping folks. It is going to be another long haul. I know we'd like to just button this all up and say we're done because it's a year later, but long-term recovery is long-term, and this was a hurricane like never had been seen before. And if you look at the folks in New Orleans after Katrina, 10 years, and still some folks are not recovered. So just some examples of some of the work that we're doing. The houses that we are providing are small houses, 2 and 3 bedroom homes, depending on the size and family situation. Pier and beam and fully engineered to withstand a Cat 2, Cat 4, I can't recall, whatever it is that TWIA requires for the coastal counties. We are in need of connecting with folks that would offer any sort of volunteer efforts, especially if they are professional contractors that have licenses to do electrical, plumbing, AC, unskilled labor of sheetrock and painting. We have volunteer groups coming from all over the country. And we have dropped off on those teams because many of those that come during the summertime are youth mission teams or teams affiliated with churches that are able to schedule vacation time. If you can connect us with any private donors, we need funding, we need materials, in-kind donations contributed, as well as donated manpower. It's been a tough year, but there's still hope. There are people with good hearts And every time that we've been in major need of something and really couldn't see what the next step was, seems like God provided. And I'd like to just thank you for your support, Judge, especially with the press release early on that directed folks across the county, across the country to donate to the recovery efforts through the Coastal Bend Community Foundation. That resulted in about $600,000 for us to have seed money to get started. So we appreciate your support, and I'll be glad to take any questions.
Thank you. Thank you for the whole group. What's it say about growing from a mustard seed or something? You've really, you've grown from a mustard seed.
Yes, we have.
You've done a great job. All of you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
General? Did I see him back here earlier? No? Okay, all right. Thank you, that's fine. Anyone else?
I'd like to say thank you to Texas Division of Emergency Management. Has a couple of representatives here too, if there are any questions for the state, but I don't.
No, I just can't thank everybody enough. We've had a great cooperative effort, and every time we meet, we learn a little something, but this has been a hard way to learn, but we certainly learned a lot about what's going on under this new regime. This is all new to us, and I thank you all very much for your hard work. Thank you very much, all of you. Good report, very good report. Thank you very much. Number 4.
We'll keep this short. Melissa's going to do a brief update for you. This is new for us as well. She's going to get this handed out. What this is we're not bleeding edge, we're leading edge. But for our county, for unincorporated areas to have, in our western cities, to have a plan for the other part of our family that we think about during an evacuation, and that's animals. And so this is an evacuation plan for animals, small animals, along with post-disaster. Should big be had here, we will have a plan to deal with whatever happens afterwards. And basically this puts into place a way of doing it for us as a county. So this goes into our plan. It's been developed by the Texas A&M Veterinary School and under leadership of Dr. Wesley Bissett. We've been working on this since before Harvey, recognizing the need, and Harvey just demonstrated even more so why we need both of these to be added into our plan itself.
Melissa?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. We just wanted to take a quick moment to address the plans that we've been working so hard on creating. This is a process that started before Harvey, and we reconvened after Harvey with a new light on everything, some lessons learned, some things we got to see actually in real life that we wanted to make sure were implemented in this plan. Both the sheltering and the evacuation plan. So one of the things we know is that if we have plans approved before a disaster, it's a lot easier to get reimbursement from the state and the federal government. So it's essential for us to have approved plans for our animal response because it is such an intricate process. It does require a lot of resources and personnel. So it's very important for us to have these approved plans in place before we have a disaster.
So some of this plan, briefly skimming over it, the county judge is the one that has the authorization to initiate and conclude animal sheltering. And so then I guess there's a separate plan for that because I'm sure as we saw in pictures and the news stories, I mean, they're everywhere. They're cattle running amok, you have dogs, cats, all of the animals lost, can't find their owners or just been abandoned.
Yes.
So what is part of the post plan?
We had originally considered making this one plan, but we realized that there were two separate operations, two separate sets of people and agencies that we might be using. So we have the evacuation plan that's going to include the tending to animals that people are bringing as they're evacuating. So as we're evacuating people, they have their domestic pets as well. And then, of course, livestock if we need to evacuate them. We have different agencies we might be able to use that have trailers for horses and other livestock. For the sheltering plan, this is a post-disaster sheltering plan, and we're going to utilize the space that we have out there at the fairgrounds, the equestrian center, the goat barn, facilities that we have already standing that function for the purposes of animals, and using that for bringing animals that have been found after a disaster. If it's been decided that sheltering them in place isn't advantageous, then we'll bring them over to the shelter. And then, of course, the people that have been evacuated. There's a lot of different reasons why we might shelter an animal post-disaster in our facility, but that's all addressed here in the plan, and it covers a lot of different circumstances that might occur.
So I guess is Juan, he's part of the,
Yes.
he's part of the team that hunkers down at the Borchard.
Yes, and we worked very closely with Nueces County, Corpus Christi Animal Control, Robstown Animal Control, our Texas A&M AgriLife Extension agent, to make sure that we were encompassing all of the different protocols that are used within those facilities and shelters and the knowledge that comes from those folks and incorporating that into the plan. But they're going to be running that out here at the fairgrounds. So we want experts running these different areas that they're experts in, so we have the best information at the best time.
Well, what happens after the disaster to those animals that y'all have? Because I haven't got to read this.
That's fine. There's different, it depends, basically. So they might be taken to an additional shelter that can do some more long-term sheltering. There's also different organizations that we can reach out to for unclaimed animals that will take them to different states and have them adopted out. And then, of course, we have allotted a certain amount of time for evacuees to return and be able to claim their pets. And we have an extensive tracking system that will be used to ensure that animals that are left by evacuees and evacuated are returned to their families.
I think usually the family will come get them, I would think, and I'm more concerned about the ones that have no family and
Right.
what happens to those. I'm just so happy to see that y'all are getting a plan for this. I think it's so important because sometimes those animals are the ones that are forgotten.
Yes, yes, they are. And so I think the biggest thing when it comes to unclaimed animals and animals that are found after the disaster is giving enough time to make sure that we're not sending away somebody, a resident's pet or livestock, and then finding them a new appropriate home. So our worst-case scenario is going to be euthanasia, but that's going to be after we've expanded every possible option.
So you'll be working with the local organizations to make sure.
Yes, absolutely, and not local as well. Whoever is interested in being involved in the response portion of it.
Thank you.
Wasn't it Katrina that we saw the massive cattle drive going up 59? Wasn't that after Katrina? And what happened there, Carolyn? There was no plan. And what happened over there is the flooding spread all over that part of Texas and Louisiana. Hundreds of cattle and horses were left in the field. Some died, some drowned. And they had a huge cattle drive, and they literally drove them up US 59 to get them out of the storm. Well, this prompted the state to recognize we have a serious problem in South Texas because we've got a lot of animals. And so I want to applaud the work that we've done. It's taken a while, but we've had a lot of help and cooperation, and what we are trying to get away from is all of these unclaimed large animals and small animals as well, because it creates a tremendous problem for people. So thank you for doing this. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. See no comment. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. This is about rounds it out. This is about the last issue, isn't it? The animal issue, yeah.
Y'all stay away from alligators, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, we just, every time we do one of these things, we wake up and discover we've got some serious areas, and so thank you. Good morning. John, how are you? Got us an airport? Thank you.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Thank you. Go ahead.
What's before you is our airport layout plan. This plan is required for us to continue in the Airport Improvement Program, grant program. There's a couple of updates that's been added to it. This was originally done in 2001. The updates to the plan is a new terminal building and the apron that will be completed by the end of this calendar year. And also the proposed fuel farm that will come to y'all at a later date.
Okay.
The other part of it is some of the legends were the hangars that were owned by other folks that came back to the county, that belong to the county now. That's all been updated also. That's about it for that thing.
All right, do you have, are we fully occupied now? Every hangar full?
Yes, sir.
Good. Revenue coming in?
Yes, sir. I have,
Everybody paying?
we have 22 revenue producing hangars, well, not counting the big hangars, but I have 22 T hangars and 3 large revenue producing hangars.
Very good. You're doing a great job out there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That fuel farm's important. I'll be gone, but I really hope the court and the new county judge keeps pushing on that, because that has an opportunity to really increase not only our service ability out there, but the revenue ability if we put that fuel farm in. And I know we're working with TxDOT, and I know there's some things there, but I encourage you to, all of you, to really get that thing pushed through. That'll make a big difference in revenue out there. We do that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your work. Good work. Anybody have any questions? We're gonna fool around and have an airport out there. A good one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Health Department.
Oh,
Do-
we need a vote.
Oh, yeah, we gotta approve it, don't we? I'll entertain a motion.
Move.
All in favor? Aye, pose same sign. Thank you for pointing that out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. I'm very excited. We have a new project that's specifically for this community. We have worked with the University of Michigan, the Health District, and the university for nearly 20 years, as long as I've been there. And so they have looked at strokes in this community over the years. Now they are looking at what they call basic cognitive. And Dr. Morgenstern, Dr. Louis Morgenstern, neurologist, professor at the University of Michigan, also the lead investigator for this project over all these years. He's here to present on the new study. This one is really important that we bring to the community, because this one they actually go door to door. And so we wanted to make sure the community understood why we're out there, why we're doing what we're doing, and why it's so important to this community that they actually open the door and respond, so that way we can get some really good outcome measures on memory loss, why it occurs, who has better outcomes, and why. So a lot of different things go into this project, but again, Dr. Louis Morgenstern is here to present. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Morning, Doctor. Welcome.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you very much. I'm joined today by Nelda Garcia, who is our project manager, and Ruth Longoria, who is our field office director, who've done such a wonderful job over the last 20 years in helping us run our studies here locally. So I represent the Brain Attack Surveillance in Corpus Christi, or BASIC study. We have been continuously funded by the National Institutes of Health. We only have federal dollars running our project since 1999. We've just received word that we're going to get another 5-year cycle to study brain health in Nueces County, making this one of the longest running National Institutes of Health funded studies in the nation. We're quite proud of that, and really grateful to Annette for the partnership with the Health District and all the support we've gotten from the medical community and the citizens of Nueces County over the years. We're predominantly interested in stroke and dementia. We employ 25 Nueces County employees who do all the work in the project. We're very grateful to them for all the work over the years. We have enrolled 12,000 subjects in Nueces County over time, and that has provided vital information not only for this community but for the nation about stroke. And a lot of the results from this study have been used by the Centers for Disease Control, by the American Heart Association, and other organizations for outreach programs to try to reduce the burden of stroke in the United States. Our newest study is called Basic Cognitive. It's an opportunity to try to do something about the growing concern for an epidemic of dementia in this country as the population ages. What we do is we try to enroll people by random selection of knocking on housing units in doors of housing units in Nueces County. We identify people who are over age 65. We do a free screening of their cognitive ability, and if they have evidence of some cognitive challenges, we invite them to participate in a longer assessment, and we will follow them over a 2-year period. We're not only interested in the patients, but we're very interested in caregivers. Caregivers have tremendous responsibilities, and we're interested in the available resources to them in the community, the needs of the caregivers, and how to try to match both of those, and we will provide that information in our research as well. So we really hope that we can get the word out to members of the community. We've already knocked on how many thousand doors? Almost 3,000 doors. We've had really great reception by many people who have shared great stories of their challenges with this disease in their families and in the community. We need more people to open their doors and allow us to come in and do these assessments. And again, the goal is to try to provide as much information as we can, like we've done with stroke, now in dementia, to try to inform the nation about how we can do a good job at fighting against the epidemic of dementia that is really on our doorstep. Thank you very much.
Doctor, I want to thank all of you. Of course, I'm older than most, but so many of my peers and classmates and all have entered this phase now, and this is a terrible disease. And I really hope that work like you're doing and others are doing, that we can move that needle, because it is so sad. I bet you there's not a person sitting up here that doesn't have a relative that's affected in one way by dementia or Alzheimer's or something else. So let me tell you, we'll do everything we can to help you do this. And I wish people would just open up and be more open about it, because a lot of people hide this. And they're embarrassed, as you know, and they don't want the family to know, or the family doesn't want someone else to know. But the only way we're ever going to get this is we're going to have to get this out in the open and try to figure this thing out. And so thank you for being here. Thanks for all the work you're doing in the Net Health Department. We got to figure this out. This is really a bad deal. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you so much. You bet. Grant? Again, thank you. Annette, you're not running off on me, are you? I've got you right after here. Okay, thank you.
Good morning again. The two grant items that we have on the agenda today are both related, so I'm going to kind of give you a background so you can understand where we're coming from on both of these. The first item is execution of the APRIS Safety Vine Service Agreement. The second item is execution of a SAVNS, which we call SAVN's Maintenance Grant Contract. That's with the Office of the Attorney General. The Office of the Attorney General has this grant program. Basically, they give us money, and then we pay APRIS to maintain and operate this system. And it's a victim notification system. It's free. There's no match on this grant that they give us, but basically it's a pass-through. The state, if y'all recall, last court, we did have an amendment to this contract, which extended the date. So the first item is for the APRIS contract, which is the company that operates the system. This contract is the amount of $24,478.11. And so we recommend approval. This is a necessary contract to be able to maintain the Vine system.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, post same sign.
The second item is the actual contract with the Office of Attorney General for the grant money to be able to pay APRIS. So we kind of put one before the other. Okay.
Second. All in favor? Aye, post same sign.
Thank y'all.
That was hard, wasn't it? Public Works. Good morning. Thank you, Roxy. Buck, good morning.
Good morning, Judge Neal and Commissioners. Discuss and consider approving a one-year extension to the LNV Engineering Services contract. So our recommendation is discuss and consider approving the one-year extension because for different reasons where you cannot install the remote controls in an existing system that is under repair. So if some part of the system at any of the 7 buildings was broken down, we had to fix it before they could kind of start working on the hardware and then the software upgrade. So with all that, we ran out of time, and our estimation is it'll take another 8 months, maybe even longer to finish. There's no increase in cost. It's just an extension in time. And so we request that we extend the contract to December 31, 2019.
So moved. Second. Motion? Second. I have a second. All in favor? Aye. Pose same sign. Thank you. Number 2.
This one is discuss and consider approval of change order 11 for the Mackenzie Jail Annex, the dormitory renovation project. The background is on January 7, we entered into a contract with Progressive Structures for the dorm renovation project. The shear wall that they've found must be removed in order to conform to the renovation design. So the change order number 11 will provide for a shear wall. This has to be because we are now running different panels and electrical obstructions that have to be accommodated. For that, we have to rebrace the shear wall that was discovered, which was not originally known to the contractor. So because of that, we need this change order for the project to go on and conform to the renovation design.
Where's the money?
There is currently an available balance in that project. I think most of it came from the removal of the generator, which is going to be funded through other funds.
So this money is available in the project?
The 17,000 is available, yes.
Because we took off the generator.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know we can't do much about this, but it's really, I mean, since I've come on and I know before that, this is becoming a money pit. I mean, we all know that. I know there's not much we can do, but, I mean, look at, the previous amount of days that have been added, 113 days to the original contract days, and then, we having to sacrifice a project to be able to pay for this. I mean, I know there's not much that we can do, but, I mean, what is in place that we can really try to just pump the brakes or really just slam the brakes on this? I mean, I know we got to complete the project. I know that, I understand, and I support that. I'll vote for that, but, it's every few months that we're having more and more work orders coming in on this, and it's just concerning, it's just when is when? I mean, when are we going to be able to get to that point where we finally meet all our needs and there's no more secret discoveries, and then we're able to pay off the project will be complete, and we can move on and move people in.
One of the things that the new director has done, Juan Pimentel, is he is firsthand involved directly. He and we go and make site inspection visits at different project places at least once every 2 weeks and keep up firsthand with whatever surprises we might have in store. So we try to preempt them. And by doing that, we should have less surprises than before.
Good, thank you.
Can I ask a question? I was just reading over this, and I wasn't here when this happened, but in 2016, the shear wall was in question back then. Y'all signed a contract January the 4th, 2017, but y'all didn't even have the drawings weren't even located till the 19th of. My question is this, before you make bids and stuff, with the drawings of the buildings not being accessible to the people that are going to renovate, it seems like we should have known this.
I totally concur with you, Commissioner. Part of the problem was the project was started in a little bit more of a haste than it should have. So the contractor or the architect was authorized to go start work, doing investigation work before we actually had drawings. And these, the building in question is an old building, and a lot of times you end up discovering things by crawling through spaces because it's an old building. And so the shear wall was a surprise, and they discovered it with on-site inspections, and immediately after that, around it, is also when the drawings were submitted.
And I understand that. It just says that the shear wall was in question in 2016 before this project was ever started. And my point is this, as a county, we need to be more proactive in what we do before we give out the bids. Because to me, all of this, those drawings should have been given to whoever was doing before during the bid process, I would think, so we knew what was hitting us. And I know more things are going to come when you do an old building, but I hope we have all the drawings already. Do y'all know what's in there?
Part of the problem is, in many cases, including some of the buildings we have, we don't really have a good set of as-built drawings. So we might have design drawings, but what happens after the structure is completed, the as-built, we have been lacking, and that's in the past, not the new ones. And because of that, what Juan stressed is on-site inspection takes a lot of time away from office work, but he insists on all of us, and we have another new engineer, Mr. Bert Perez. We all, it's not just him, but we all go make on-site inspections till we have a construction inspector
That's critical.
on-site. And this will preempt any surprises to a large extent.
Carolyn, if you will go to Webster's dictionary and look up goat rope, there's a picture of that building.
What is it? Go grope?
Goat rope.
Oh, I'm back in the principal's office again today.
Thank you. Let's get out of here. What's next? You want approval? So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. All right, number 3.
Third one is discuss and consider approval of a financial guarantee for improvements agreement with Maria Martinez and Daniel and Sarah Haynes for improvements in the Santa Maria Acres subdivision located in Commissioner Precinct 4. The plat of the Santa Maria Acres was approved by Commissioner's Court on July 22, 2003. The subdivision was platted before the adoption of the model subdivision regulations, which requires the developer to provide for water and sewer facilities. The proposed agreement will provide for water and sewer facilities for Lot 5, Block 3 of the Santa Maria Acres. So this is just an...
Commissioner Chesney, you ready?
Yes, sir.
So this is
That's
really
your
just
motion?
we're just trying to do is, we're not going back to the old thing. We're going, this is something new they want to do, right?
Right. Anytime, based on this agreement...
I understand, I understand about the model subdivision rules, but this is a new area, right?
Right.
Somebody give me a motion.
Well, I have a question.
Question?
I see there's a cost in here of $20,180 for what they're trying to do. What happens if they don't do this, in a timely manner and the cost goes up?
I'm going to defer that to Tyner to help me, because this was...
This is actually the third one. I'm a little bit familiar with this. Public Works handles this, but this is the third one that we're going to do in this subdivision. And all of them are the same amount. They bid, this is the last lot, by the way, and we're done with this subdivision, but the costs were determined ahead of time, and so I believe it's guaranteed.
But didn't we require them at one time, excuse me, Commissioner, that they had to put a bond for that in case somebody, that,
This is the alternative. This is to comply with the model rules. I don't want to dig too deep in it, but the Attorney General actually, there's an Attorney General's intervention on this particular subdivision. And the county attorney has looked at these items for us before, but this is a method for them to comply with their agreement with the Attorney General as well.
Okay. Somebody do something.
Everybody good?
Make a motion.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. Thank you. Purchasing?
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Before you is the award for the auditing services. I have the evaluation committee meeting eval on the proposals received.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's okay, thanks.
Okay, we received 6 proposals. And the evaluation committee met and went through 3 different screening criteria. The first was the mandatory elements. They were just to make sure that we had received all the information we needed and that they were licensed to practice in Texas. All the information from all the providers, the proposals were received. Next, we reviewed the competence and qualifications of each one of the companies, their audit approach, their familiarity with the GASP 84 and 86. That's a brand-new requirement that came out recently, and we wanted to see what these companies were wanting to, would be willing to do or to help us with. The statements that they provided were very general. All they noted was that they would provide the county assistance. So that's why we did not give anyone a score for that item, because they were so general in noting that they would just assist the county. And then the rest of the items were scored according to the information that was received. Once that score was tabulated, we did move forward in opening the price and a reasonable pricing quotes from each one of them. And those pricing quotes were tabulated in to give you a final value for the proposal, all the completed documents. And so the recommendation from the committee is to award to Patillo, Brown, and Hill. If there's any questions at this point?
Are they local, or they out of the city?
They're from Brownsville,
Brownsville?
Commissioner, and the county has had them 10 years ago. They were our auditing firm.
Who's our current?
Ernest Garza is our current, and he's been our current for 10 years.
Why does he have so much a lower score compared to 2 firms? Or he's tied actually with another firm for 3rd, and there's 2 other firms tying him ahead of him. What exactly happened there?
On the backside, Commissioner?
Mhm.
Okay. The number 1, Garza, their earnest score was on pricing. They had a higher cost. But with that being put aside, let's go to that competence and qualification aspect at the beginning. We were reviewing on that past experience and performance. They had provided information on the different entities that they've been working with. And Patillo, Brown, and Hill had a lot of counties that they've worked with in the past. Ernest has worked with Nueces County and in another county, and then there's been some work with cities and smaller entities, and that's why his score was a little bit lower than Patillo on that item. And then the next one was the quality of firm professional personnel. The highest score was given to Garza Gonzalez and Associates because they were assigning 9 CPAs to our proposal to do the work. The other entities had less CPAs assigned to us. the smaller number of CPAs that were assigned to our project, the lower the score got. And then,
On that though, I mean,
yes, sir.
yeah, more eyes to look at it, but if you only have a few set of eyes, then I would think maybe less chance to get things confused. I mean, you're talking piecemeal, or everybody, you have 9 sets of eyes working on it at once?
You have 9 people working. There's multiple items that need to be reviewed.
Because I can give you 5 up here if I give 1 and just pass it down the line, and who knows if we're, taking it and you work on this part, and then you take it and work on that part. I mean, if they're all working 9 CPAs at once on our numbers, then that's one thing. But if you're just telling me it's 9, that could be 9 part-time CPAs who are up there who are maybe only working on not the entire project. You divvy it out. So how is that working? Do you know?
To tell you specifically how they're going to, how that company is going to utilize those 9, Commissioner, I couldn't tell you exactly. What they proposed was that they were going to have 9 CPAs, qualified CPAs, working on preparing and reviewing our documents. How they're going to assign the work, that's not noted on the documents that we received. Do you want to elaborate on anything, Dale?
No, because on the proposal we had, they did show a certain number of hours per assignments for some of them, but whether their hours are here or at another location, they didn't determine what their values were. They did have some where the assignments of here, they had 1 or 2 CPAs here with a couple of assistant auditors that were not CPAs for hours for actually on site. But other than that, that's as far as they went with the description of work.
This is something that popped up to me. I know y'all put a lot of work into this to get us to this point to look at this, and just question that just kind of popped in my head when you mentioned that many CPAs is that I think that's great if they have that many, but if they're only given a small part of the project, then you're just giving them credit for having a larger firm, but more eyes looking at it over the same amount of time it maybe takes a firm that only has, say, 3 or 4. Then you're still getting the same amount of time put in. It's just different sets of eyes that are looking at it over 40 hours, 100 hours, whatever it may be. But that's just what popped up for me, so I just wanted to bring up that question. Thank you.
Elsa,
I don't know if
I support what you're doing, changing, because I think if you've had someone for 10 years, it's good to have fresh eyes look at it. And Ernest is a great guy. He just got some stuff when I was on there for the city, and we changed because of that very fact. So I like the idea that we're going to change.
Let me answer a question on this. Out of town, I'm really leery about dealing with people from out of town, with contractors and whatever else, because sometimes it just seems like we have a hard time dealing with those from out of town, and sometimes they don't provide the services they should provide the services. And you said we'd deal with them before, and they were out of town at that time when we deal with them before? Was there any problems or any issues, or? No?
From where? They're from Edinburgh.
And that's not one of the criteria that's allowed to be considered is the location. That wasn't one of the criteria that was considered, was the location.
But if they're going to bill us, there's nothing in there that says about billing us extra hours or travel or anything like that?
It's all-inclusive. The price that they provided was all-inclusive expenses for
That's the first
providing
question I
us
asked,
the
John.
work.
How much sounds good to
Yes,
me.
sir, and I went back
Yes,
to
I think-
validate and verify.
I asked about that.
What were the
It's
differences
all
in price?
included.
Can you go talk about that? The differences in the price? Can we do that?
It's
Curious.
right
Sure.
there. We're awarding it. So, let me see. Okay. I wrote myself some notes here, in case you asked. All right, Ernest Garza came in at $99,340, and that covered not only the county, it's the county, the juvenile, and CSCD, doing all 3, each one of these. And then Weaver came in at $93,190. Patillo, Brown, and Hill came in at $89,000. Garza, Gonzalez, and Associates came in at $102,300. Martinez, Rosario came in at 99,265. And Belt Harris and Peacock came in at 95. I was trying really hard not to mess it up, but I did. 95,000.
Any other questions? These are good questions. Ernest has done us a great job, but as Carolyn said, 10 years with one auditor is a long time. Best business practices are probably change every 3 or 4 years. But Ernest has done a great job. He's local, and we understand that. But we have looked very carefully at this. Patillo, Brown & Hill is a very large firm. They have offices all over the state of Texas, so they can pull assets in here from anywhere they want to. The lead on this will be Costco's, right, who was the lead on it before, former county judge in Hidalgo County, former Secretary of State, and he's back now full-time in the accounting firm, and he was the partner that would be the lead on this for us again. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I'll second, so we can move on. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign.
No.
Brent? Thank you. The Brent voted aye. It's 3-2 to move on to this, and we want to thank Ernest for all of his help and service, and I'm sure he'll cooperate with the new people as we move into this area. But I want to tell you, our staff did a great job with this. And our 2 CPAs that we have were, I stepped back from this, folks, and listen to the CPAs talk about what was so important to them. And so I think this is a firm recommendation. Your auditor and your court person are going to be working very closely with this. Thank you all very much. All right, budget change order number 21.
Yes, sir, we have one item for you, the change order 21. It has 5 departments requesting funds. Robb County Community Services Building just need a small increase in office supplies for the year. That should last them through the year. The 105th District Court had to take over the Veterans Treatment Court from the Judge Williams that was doing it before. In his absence, the Judge Pulcher is now having to take over the balances, and he's needed additional transfers for temporary coverages. That should cover him for the remainder of the year. Judge Stith had a small need of some temporary because one of his staff members was ill for a while, so he had to fill in for those particular items. The one item we see for social services every time, that's where we have those low-income funds, people that come in and request rent assistance, electrical and food and stuff, where those funds come in, and from time to time it changes, switches back and forth of what we need to fund for, and that's what they're doing here. And then our Family Consumer Services also has a little additional need for some office supplies. These are the requests that were submitted to my office for review. We looked at the balances. The funds are available in these departments to do these transfers, and with us, we're submitting this for your approval.
Thank you very much. That's your recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second, and a question, Your Honor.
Question?
So Dale, once we close up the books at the end of the year, then we should see $2,090 that are saved, I guess, in Judge Williams' court?
Yes.
Okay. From
I
this,
see more than that, but at least that.
as a result of this move that you
At
mentioned.
least have that much savings, yes.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to approve this. Any other questions? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Commissioners Court may go into executive session at any time for items posted on the agenda under item 5. We will now go into executive session under the authority of Government Code, Vernon's Texas Code, sections 5, 5107, 107, 207, 307, 4, 07, 45, 076, 086, 087. We're going to executive session at 10 minutes to 12. The mic is off. The mic is off. Mic is on. Thank you. We'll go back into session. It's 12 o'clock. The item on the agenda was information only, right? No action needs to be taken. Tyner, let's cover the last item, please.
We recommend appointment of Alyssa Weinhold for Commissioner Chesney's alternate on the COG.
All right. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion real quick, Judge.
Quickly.
Not so much on Alyssa, but I noticed on the list that Glenn's name is still on there. Shouldn't we change that to Juan? Or this has the name just not been updated on?
That's a good point.
That's a good point, and it's a general term. Y'all could appoint Juan right now.
Right today?
Can we make that part of the motion as well?
Sure. Make that, amend the motion.
And we add Juan Pimentel to replace Glenn Sullivan.
Glenn Sullivan.
Question.
Question?
This is a new committee for me, so can y'all explain to me what this does?
Not much.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm not a big
Now,
fan.
be careful.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big
The
fan.
COG, if you remember from the city, the COG is made up of members, larger members coming from the city of Corpus Christi. The county has a number of slots on the COG, at the COG, on the board. We spread this around. Every commissioner is on the COG board. I'm on there. We have members from emergency management. We have members from Public Works. We have members from different ones, and we rotate those if the person changes. The attendance at the COG meetings is bad. Not as many people go as should. This is more of an this is more of a rural COG than it is an urban COG.
Okay, and when do they have those meetings?
The COG does this.
The
They
fourth,
post them.
the fourth Friday of the
Every
month
month.
at 2 p.m.
Right.
At 2910 Leopard. That's across from Buck Stadium,
Miller High School.
Miller High School.
Miller High School.
Okay, so we should be attending those.
You should be. You should be getting notice.
The 4th, is that what you said, the 4th?
Fourth Friday at 2
Fourth
o'clock.
Friday of the month at 2 p.m.
And what are they, what's the purpose of this?
A lot of times it has to do with, the most important component is related to grants, because they determine as a region what's most important for the region. So a lot of state grants go through the COG.
Let me get you some good information on that.
Okay,
All
thank
right. Thank you. Thank you.
We don't get it.
And I'll spend as much time with you as you want. The COG meeting this month was canceled because they didn't have anything on it. But let me spend some time with you if I might, please. I'm sorry, but it'll be better than taking the next 10 minutes. Okay, anything else? Did we vote on that? Call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. I think that's it, right? Anyone have anyone to adjourn in memory of? Brent?
Just one, Judge Janie Ochoa Olvera, O-L-V-E-R-A. She was a friend of mine's mother. She made the journey to be with our Lord on Tuesday, July 10th. I'm a little late on this, but I apologize. I had that in my pile, and would ask that condolences be for the Olvera family.
Okay. Joe?
I'll forget the paperwork, but unless somebody else has it, but Dr. Leo Carrillo.
We all should have that one.
Yeah, right.
You take the lead. That's fine.
Dr. Leo Carrillo was, many years very active, involved in his community, not only in the community, but also in education. He's one of the best educators we've had, especially at the university level, from CCID to university. So he passed away last week, and condolences and prayers go to his family. Great loss.
You got this? You got it? Go ahead, if you have it.
I don't have it. So you wanna
Go ahead.
I always think the judge should.
Okay, I'll take it. The memorial service for Deputy Dustin White, who passed away, will be held August 25th at 2018 at 2 p.m. at Seaside. He was a sheriff's department deputy, pardon me?
K-9.
You're kidding.
With the white dog, with the blonde dog?
No way. Wait.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't realize that.
He wears a cowboy hat all the time.
Oh, yeah, we all knew him. He was here all the time. Thank you for sharing that with me. I did not realize he had passed away, so thank you all very much for sharing that.
Can Julie
John,
send us some information
anything
on that, if some of us can attend?
Sure.
Ricardo Ruiz and Luis Gutierrez Senior, both of Robstown.
Okay, Carolyn, anyone?
No, thank you.
Please stand. Thank Thank you all very much. Mic is off, mic is off.